This is video 3 out of 5 for Twitch. YouTube, I'll give y'all the remaining 5 videos. Because I feel like I need to do that. But anyways, this is, WWE news. The Morgan lost her cool after WWE Raw, WWE star release, AEW stars target Cody Rhodes. First, let's see where we at. Okay. Okay. Oh, they just getting right into the news.
We are kicking off with WWE, who during last week's SmackDown had its first wave of talent cuts in this new era, and new details have come to light that make one of those cuts very surprising. It was revealed yesterday that Von Wagner is among those who were cut 5 years after the second-generation superstar signed with the promotion in March 2019. Wagner was part of NXT from 2021 to his release, but worked a dozen main roster dark matches, was rumored for a call-up at various times over the past few years. PW Insider now reports that Wagner's exit was seemingly a late decision, as there was talks of a move to Raw or SmackDown as recently as last week. At one point, Wagner was scheduled to be at this Friday's draft edition of SmackDown, but it was later decided that he wouldn't be brought in after all. Wagner's final match was on the April 2nd WWE NXT, where he lost a 6-minute match to Lexis King, and he joins Jinder Mahal, Veer Mahaan, Sangha, Xia Li, and Zion Quinn in these cuts. Mahal's name is certainly surprising to see on this list, as it wasn't too long ago that he was in a high-profile feud with Seth Rollins and had an angle with The Rock earlier this year. Fightful reports that Raw and SmackDown stars were joking that Mahal will feud with Tony Khan on AEW Dynamite this summer due to their public drama that unfolded not too long ago. Mahal himself has revealed that he is already back in the gym, and talent released last Friday are subject to a 90-day non-compete clause that will expire on Thursday, July 18th. After then, they'll be free to work and can sign with any promotion they can strike a deal with, and that sounds like it won't be difficult for the former WWE World Champion. While speaking on Fightful Select's backstage report, Sean Ross Sapp noted that Jinder Mahal is already receiving heavy interest from promotions, particularly GCW, right now. GCW are said to be foaming at the mouth to bring Mahal on board, and it's speculated that Matt Cardona's injury may be why GCW wants Mahal to fill his spot as a loathed heel. From former WWE champions to talent that never got a significant push, it seems nobody was safe from these cuts, but what did WWE look to when deciding who to let go? Fightful Select reports that WWE targeted talent with over 5 years of experience in WWE, highlighting a disconnect between their trajectory and experience level within the company. Now Mahal, Sangha, Mahaan, Lee, Quinn, and Wagner will have to wait for the next chapter, and it'll be interesting to see what they do next with their WWE lives behind them.
There is a wave of people who are now making money online through their phone by tapping into a straightforward, systematic approach.
I feel like they got the experience they need.
Over to Raw now, as the Battle Royal to crown the next Women's World Champion went for nearly half an hour, and the fun match saw the interlocking of multiple angles. Maxine Dupree got a measure of revenge by eliminating Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae before the Alpha Academy star was taken out by Nia Jax. Jax would dominate the match as she took out but didn't eliminate Becky Lynch by hitting a Samoan drop onto Piper Niven onto Lynch while she was laid on the announcer's desk. Nia was in the driver's seat for the finish of the match, but Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch teamed up to successfully take her out, leaving us with the two favorites to win as the last two. The finish saw Lynch hit the manhandle slam on Morgan, leaving the woman who injured Rhea Ripley unable to do anything but fall, giving Becky the win and the title. After the match, she went to celebrate with the crowd, and although there is no footage, it appears that the celebrations continued once Raw went off the air. This was a great main event to Raw and showcased the stories across the board, with Dupree, Niven, Jax, and Chelsea Green having spotlights in the contest. Chelsea Green was classic Chelsea Green, as she was eliminated by Natalya, but with all the refs distracted by the table spot, she got back in the ring in a fun spot. The match was a perfect highlight reel of the depth of the division on Raw, a division that the man now rules over once more. While the result was clean, the win has still been controversial among fans, with many believing that Morgan should have won, given her program with Rhea Ripley. Fans were not the only ones to feel that way, with WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray also questioning the decision to have Lynch win instead of Liv. fully congratulated Lynch on the title win before immediately questioning the decision for her to win over Morgan, and said he'd talk more about it, presumably on Busted Open Radio. What lies next for Becky Lynch as Women's World Champion will be interesting to see, and don't be surprised to see Morgan and Nia duke it out for the #1 contendership. Liv was understandably angry at the result as she was spotted sitting alone backstage, and when a cameraman approached her, that proved to be a mistake. Upon noticing the camera, Liv angrily approached the operator and put her hands on the camera, and the livid Morgan made clear she didn't want to be filmed. Morgan is one of the most beloved stars in WWE today, but the last time she won a singles title belt was 2 years ago when she cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase on Ronda Rousey. Morgan was visibly angry over not winning the title on Raw. It remains to be seen what's next for her and her evolving character after her massive loss on the Red brand. At AEW Dynasty, Jack Perry made his return to program.
I could care less. Okay.
Saw Priest come to respect main event Jay. The two then grew aggressive with their exchange of words, and JD McDonough's attempt to interfere resulted in him accidentally striking Priest, teasing more dissension in their group. The segment ended with Uso departing to an ovation from the fans on the campus of Ohio State, and a big takeaway from this is that Priest still needs to find his authority on the mic. Fortunately, there will be more opportunities to do that, and working with the charismatic Jey Uso will bring out the best of him, as Jey is monumentally over with the fans. Jey could win the title tomorrow and be believable in that role, which means that Priest beating him will enhance the champ's credibility, exactly what this matchup is intended to do. It was on last week's Raw that Rhea Ripley relinquished the Women's World Championship, and it now appears that Mommy isn't the only member of the Judgment Day who's hurt. In a backstage segment with JD McDonough and Damian Priest this week, Dominic Mysterio appeared sporting an arm sling and noted that he was a little banged up. Given his situation, Mysterio had Santos Escobar replace him in his tag team match set for the show alongside JD McDonough, and this injury is legitimate and not part of the storyline. Fightful Select previously reported that Dominic was taken off WWE's recent European tour, possibly suffering the injury before then, and was replaced on the tour by Ricochet. Moreover, the report also stated that a timeline regarding his return to in-ring action was not heard about at the moment, as it's unclear what kind of injury he's dealing with. Mysterio's WWE future is uncertain, as so little is known about his current situation, and we'll have to see what the company has planned for him during his injury. Whatever injury it is, it caught the attention of Rhea Ripley, who said on Twitter that it seems she and Dirty Dom are a little too similar at times. Ripley and Mysterio are both out of action for the time being, in huge blows to the Judgment Day, and we'll try to learn more about what injury Dirty Dom is dealing with. The Judgment Day's bad night continued in the penultimate match of the night, as Ricochet and Andrade defeated JD McDonough and Dominic's replacement, Santos Escobar. With the talent involved, it was a predictable, fun, energetic match with creative spots and a big win for the babyface, earned by Andrade, who hit the shadow to McDonough. Damian Priest emerged post-match to assault Ricochet and Andrade, and after speaking in Spanish, the champ made clear to JD McDonough that, "I don't need anybody, you guys need me." The Judgment Day will need each other, though, next week, as a six-man tag will see Priest, McDonough, and Finn Balor face Ricochet, Andrade, and Jey Uso. There have been major tensions in the Judgment Day, and two major injuries haven't helped ease things, but for now, Damian Priest is unquestionably the group's.
JetBrains IDEs. Enjoy an exceptional developer experience.
EasyJet's big orange sale
Damn it. My video
is now on.
Leader. Now, with WWE's draft mere days away, the landscape of programming could soon look very differently, and one name fans could be seeing very soon is Jacob Fatu. Fatu is one of the latest additions to the roster, as he only recently concluded his time with MLW, where he was positioned as one of the company's top stars. Fatu is said to have finalized his WWE deal over WrestleMania weekend, which led to him pulling from a GCW appearance, and his final MLW show was Super Fight back in February. PW
Lance
Insider
and
has learned that
Wyatt.
expectations are high for Fatu's debut within
I heard
WWE, with speculation that he could make an appearance as soon as this Friday's SmackDown. Sources within Creative suggest that Fatu is poised to become a regular fixture on the main roster, as WWE intends to capitalize on his talent and potential. Many are of the opinion that Fatu will become part of Solo Sikoa's bloodline, which recently saw the introduction of Tama Tonga and the banishment of Jimmy Uso. With Roman Reigns nowhere to be seen, Solo Sikoa is ready to lead his new bloodline, which could be undergoing another major change within a matter of days. In AEW, Max Caster can often be found performing freestyle raps about his opponents, but his most recent performance on the
Alright, we like Matt Caster, but I'll be alright. Okay. Here we go.
forward. Drew McIntyre addressed his recent downfall courtesy of CM Punk while sitting in Punk's signature cross-legged pose and declared his role in the King of the Ring tournament. As McIntyre reflected on his misery, Sheamus interrupted to speak with his friend and urged Drew to let go of his obsession with Punk and focus on the future. Instead, Drew used his social media menacing on the Celtic Warrior as he brought up social media digs about Sheamus's weight gain and fat shaming by certain fans since his return. The segment ended with McIntyre stating he had his friend's back and would be ringside for Sheamus's match with Shinsuke Nakamura, which proved to be a grueling physical affair. Sheamus overcame a concentrated attack on his head and neck to rock Nakamura with the brogue kick and score the victory, while McIntyre watched on intently. Sheamus versus McIntyre seems to be the next direction, and while this will deliver certified bangers, it's a story we've already visited and far from the hottest feud for either man. That is, unless it's a placeholder ahead of next week's draft, and we'll have to see where things line up for both men in the coming days. It was last week that Chad Gable failed to capture the Intercontinental Championship from Sami Zayn in the show's main event, that resulted in the Olympian finally snapping. In a post-match beatdown in Sami's native Quebec in front of his family, Chad confirmed his heel turn and refused to break his ankle lock hold on the champion. On this week's show, Chad came out with Otis, Maxine Dupree, and Akira Tozawa and got on the mic and essentially blamed Zayn for what transpired after their match. Gable would have accepted his loss if Zayn didn't find him crying in the corner and place the title in front of him, and said Sami was gloating, especially by hugging his wife. Gable then berated the rest of Alpha Academy by saying that Akira Tozawa is a nobody who racks up losses, and that Maxine is pretty as a princess, but dumb as a bag of rocks. The Olympian branded Otis the biggest disappointment of his career and forced Alpha Academy to help him become champion no matter what. The trio of berated stars agreed despite the verbal attacks on them, and Chad is going to be an incredible heel if the company allows him to go deep with this new character. Gable's work in the ring certainly can't be denied, and this was the start of an excellent run as long as he can sustain momentum after next week's draft. Backstage, Sami Zayn spoke about being hurt and Chad Gable before he was interrupted by Bronson Reed, who declared Sami had bigger problems than Gable. Zayn said that he was ready to go anytime, any place, but didn't see Reed's sneak attack coming after Sami returned to his interview. Reed beat down Zayn backstage and declared that he'll be the next Intercontinental Champion, and between Reed and Gable, Sami's title reign is in serious jeopardy. In August 2023, Bray Wyatt tragically passed. For years, Finn Balor has been a key player in WWE, and in a recent tweet, the Prince thanked the company for the past 10 years and declared, "I ain't going nowhere." That certainly seems to be true, as Fightful Select reports that WWE has been looking to sign Balor to a multi-year big money deal that would keep him away from other promotions. It's believed AEW would have major interest in Balor if he were a free agent this summer, but expect to see the Irish superstar in WWE for a long time to come. If you've been watching AEW as of late, you won't have seen Evil Uno around much, and now...
Is this the last story?
feeding DIY in a fun, action-packed match that saw Miz deposit Tommaso Ciampa in the front row. From there, Miz joined his partner for the truth-crushing finale to put away Johnny Gargano, and the real story began after the match was over. The frustrated Ciampa refused to shake hands with the champions, and the post-match altercation hinted at a heel turn for the Blackheart, and by proxy, possibly Gargano as well. Considering Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell have already made the turn, could this be leading to the reformation of The Way, as was teased last year? And that was Raw. And what